Hello, welcome to Business Over Coffee with Sherri, BOC TV with Sherri, and also my guest today, Shelley Baur with Integrity Based Communication.
Hello,
welcome.
Happy to be here.
So good to have you.
Thank you.
Shelley is one of our newest members and one of our newest founding members. Now there's a reason for that. Shelley is very well known in the Mid-South, and I'm sure across the nation she's going to tell us a little more about her business today and what she offers. First, let me tell you where you can find us on the web. You can go to businessovercoffee.info and businessovercoffee.net. Businessovercoffee.net will give you a comprehensive view of all the benefits that we offer. Once you get there, you want to join us, go to the membership page, click on I want to be a member, and it will take you to businessovercoffee.info. So we encourage you to do that. If you have any questions, please call me, Sherri Henley, at 901-820-4469. Or if you're in the Atlanta area, call 404-885-6662. And we would love to talk with you about your business. That's what we're here to do, is help you build your business. More exposure, Shelley. More collaboration. I've been working on my 4 mores. I'm changing them up a little bit. More exposure, more collaboration, more relationships, and more business. Can't get much better than that, right? We work with professionals who want to optimize their social media, which is what we're doing right now. Also, educational exchange and networking events. So make sure you look into that. Now, enough about me. I got to get my coffee. So we've got our coffee. Shelley, you got your coffee?
I've got mine. It's right down here.
All right. So we are ready to have some time with you to talk about integrity-based communication. I've already learned so much from Shelley Baur. I met Shelley through Coach Robert Staub at a TSBDC, which is Tennessee Small Business Development Centers, and it was a Grow Your Business Now workshop with Coach Robert Staub, and I had the privilege at that meeting to meet Shelley Baur. I was very impressed, and it just so happened that she also won a full membership with BOC. And so it was a match made in heaven, I do believe, because Shelley has already, there's several things that she has said, because our tagline here at BOC is bringing everyone together. Bringing everyone together. Now, she says it in a different way. She talks about collaboration versus competition. Now, Shelley, I'm going to throw the ball to you and let you talk to us about integrity and what that means to a business owner.
Whew, that's a mouthful. Well, integrity, if you look at it purely from a dictionary definition, people will often say a synonym is honesty or doing what you say you're going to do, or being consistent. But from a larger perspective, integrity is aligning your foundation, life mission, and purpose, the next level up, your values, principles, and beliefs, the next level up, your goals, and then ultimately your daily activity. So if they are not in alignment, you're out of integrity. What happens to a bridge when it's not built with integrity?
It falls.
It falls, and people get hurt.
That's right.
That's the whole point. If you apply integrity to communications, because business people do business with people they know, like, and trust.
Right.
I would say it's even more foundational than that. People do relationship with people they know, like, and trust.
Now, you said that really quick, and I'm going to stop you there because I like that. People you know, like, and trust.
Correct.
Now, that's a loaded conversation piece.
It really
right
is.
There. Tell us more about that.
Well, when we're willing to be vulnerable, to take risks, to open the kimono, so to speak, and say, here's who I am and here's what I want, those are the first 2 behaviors of integrity-based communication. So telling your truth quicker, faster, asking for what you want, instead of being a sweet little Southern girl who never speaks up.
Right.
If we're willing to say, here's who I am, here's what I'm all about, here's my preference. So we talked the other day, an example is, let's get together and have coffee. I'd love to get to know you better.
Yes,
so,
and here
we are, exactly, online, live to the world.
That's
and
right.
So, my willingness to say, I would love to get to know you better is my truth quicker, faster, and let's get together and have coffee is asking, specifically for what I want. So these two behaviors are allowing us to get to know each other better. And,
I like that.
And I love the whole concept of business over coffee because, if you're willing to invest time, you'll find that even if we have some things that we overlap in our business, we're not competitors. We're collaborators.
Love it.
2 plus 2, in this case, in virtually every case where this kind of cooperation versus collaboration happens, 2 plus 2 equals 3 or 5 or 7.
Right.
Not
Right.
just 4.
Right.
And 1 plus 1 can do the same exponential growth factor.
Absolutely. And let's talk about some of the ways that we are collaborating. Shelley Baur is the owner of Integrity-Based Communications. You've actually written a book, which you're going to tell us about.
Right.
But Shelley is collaborating with Business Over Coffee to bring a lot of her purpose.
Living on purpose.
Living on purpose. I was going to say purpose-driven life.
Rick Warren would dig me for that. No, I came up with living on purpose, I believe, before he came up with purpose-driven.
Okay.
I'll stick with mine.
I love it. I love it. So tell us more about that. You're going to be sharing tidbits with us at Share on December 1st.
That's correct.
Here in our home office, but it will be virtual as well.
Right.
For members only.
Right. Right. So we're just going to be able to do a little sampler. That Living on Purpose seminar, if you did it straight through, is a 2-day, 2 8-hour-day seminar. I have broken it up into half-day segments before, but what we'll be doing is just 2 hours. So what I'm going to focus on is integrity-based communications and the 6 behaviors that allow us to get to know, like, and trust one another. And the outcome is not only high trust relationships, but honestly, it saves time, which means it reduces stress. So there are a lot of personal benefits as well as business benefits. And then the second thing we're going to focus on is values clarification. When we're willing to be open about what's important to us, it's not just the words, it's the meaning behind the words that allows us to see that we're either separated by a common language or we may be using different words, but once you make meaning of the words, you find that you're really on the same page. So that values clarification will actually do an exercise that lets us see what the hierarchy of values we have is in a particular relationship.
Wow.
Now, you can apply
that's outstanding.
Well, it is, because actually, when I first met my husband-to-be, and he found out the kind of work I did, he said, I've never done anything like this before. I'd really like to do it. Well, to tell you the truth, it was a little scary because someone else facilitated the process for us. We were using different words, but when we got to the part of making meaning and explaining behaviorally what the value looked like, honey, we were absolutely in sync.
That's
but
excellent.
It's good if I said, oh, harmony is one of the most important things to me, and you go, oh, really? That's one of mine too. Yeah. And I go, well, harmony to me is just hanging out with good friends and eating wonderful food and just no topic is off the table.
Right.
And so see, we're someone else might go, Dapo might go, whoa, harmony to me is just being in a hammock in the backyard listening to the birds. There you go. Right. So it's good to be able to clarify. So that would be the second thing we'll focus on is values clarification. The third is living a balanced life. And I can tell already we're going to be blasting through this information, but again, it's a sampler.
Yes.
And it allows us to look at 9 different life domains, where we are, where we want to be, and the last little tidbit that we'll morph into is how we want to get there. So we're going to be touching on goal setting.
I like that.
So we're going to cover a lot. We had talked about trying to do this in 4 hours, but we have to wait until after the first of the year to do it. So we're just going to do a sampler, little teasing tidbits, but we're going to walk away with food for thought.
Yes. Call it the taste of purpose.
Good idea.
We did a little taste of what we're going to get after the first of the year. We're going to be setting a date. And this is something you need to know. Viewers, you do not want to miss this. It's going to be called Share, and it's December 1st. This is what we're talking about with Shelley Baur with Integrity-Based Communications. Now, this event normally will cost you quite a bit of money.
$295 per person for the whole thing.
There you go. So we're talking basically $300, and you're going to get a taste of exactly what all the information that she has a wealth of knowledge that she will share with us through this Share event that we're having. December 1st is only going to cost you $10 if you're not a member yet. Join for $10 a month and you come free. So all you need to do to come to this event is join Business Over Coffee. How do you do that? You go online to businessovercoffee.info. Up in the right-hand corner is Join Us. You click there, and we accept your membership. Hopefully. I haven't had one that I've denied yet.
Well, that's good. Well, if they hear integrity and they're not one of us, then they probably don't want to come.
That's right. That's right. Now, I heard you mention stress, and I wanted to mention the lady that provides the coffee. Well, you're having black coffee today.
Yes, I am.
And I'm having, in fact, you can see that it is opened right here. It is called, what is that? DeLeon?
DeLeon.
DeLeon. Mine was a little more of a southern accent, yes. Cafe Cappuccino. That's why you didn't care for the taste.
That's right.
Yes, so this is cappuccino, but it's very good. It has antioxidants in it. It's excellent. Barbara Charles is the person who has that available for you. She provides it for our office, and I'm doing a shout out for her right now. So you can find her on our site at businessovercoffee.info. Look for Barbara Charles and ask her for some of this coffee. It's fabulous. Not to mention that she also sells Body Magic. Have you ever heard of it?
No. Tell me.
I have it on. You lose 2 sizes in 10 minutes.
You're kidding.
No. You put this on, and it also has back support, so you cannot slump over. It helps you both with your health. It's supposed to be. I'm not a doctor, but it's supposed to be a determined fact that when your spine is aligned, that your health aligns.
Well, one of my clients, Medtronic, would certainly agree with you on that.
Right.
And you can avoid spinal fusion surgery.
There you go. There you go. And it makes you feel wonderful. Everything is proportioned correctly. Now, not that you need anything. You look wonderful. So, but that is something for you to know, is to contact Barbara Charles. You can receive your Body Magic and your coffee at 40% off. All you have to do is become a member of Business Over Coffee. Now, back to Shelley. Shelley, will you tell us a little about your book that you have?
Well, Integrity-Based Communications is the title of the book, and the subtitle is Using Truth to Get What You Really Want.
I like it.
So, quite honestly, I lived a lot of my life by default. Not because I was dishonest, it's just that I was clueless.
Yeah.
And so, for me to come to the point of really saying not this, not that, not this, not that, you know, we can't be moving toward our goals and away from our goals simultaneously. It's impossible for the conscious mind to be able to focus on 2 thoughts simultaneously.
Okay.
So
in fact, can I interrupt for just a moment?
Sure.
Because the music is really cutting through our conversation.
It's distracting.
Yes, it's distracting. Duffo, mind turning that off? Thank you so much. And that's a communication tool. There are things in our life that come between us that will cause distraction. And that's something for you to build on. So we just turned the music off. Now let's talk.
So you and I are both married to the man of our dreams.
Yes.
But I'm willing to bet that in your relationship, the same thing happens as in mine. From time to time, John just gets so engrossed in writing this new music book, or maybe even just a book, or sometimes even a newspaper.
Yeah.
And what I have had to do sometimes is say, I'll put my hands on the side of my face and say, honey, I really need for you to listen to me for just a moment. Is that okay?
Interesting.
And so, alignment of my tone of voice, my body language, my reaching out and touching. So it's not just, honey, would you listen? He goes, I actually go over, and this is my way of saying, I really need your undivided attention.
I like that.
I bet sometimes even kids do that to their parents, and it's such an unconscious thing, but it's a way for them to say, no, I really need for you to listen to me.
And you know what? Having small children, because I have a 7-year-old and an 11-year-old. He just turned 11 last week, and he would be happy that I told everyone that. But anyway, that's very interesting because, especially my son, he responds to physical touch. And I could see where, now he's getting older, so it might make a difference, but definitely with my 7-year-old, where if I touched her face, I think I might get a little more response from her. because she has trouble focusing. She wants to do everything and not really listen.
Now with adults,
Mhm.
not our spouses.
Mhm.
You know, I've been in a position where I've been at a Rotary Club meeting, and you know,
Uh-huh.
I kiss one person or hug one person I've known for a very long time, and all of a sudden they're lining up, and it's like, yeah, I'm not going to do this.
I understand.
But so your point is well taken. A 7-year-old, a 10-year-old, 11-year-old,
Right.
they're fine with you touching them.
Mhm.
You're their mother. But
Yeah.
if it's an adult, if we keep the touch below the elbow, between the wrist and the elbow, it's not too intimate. However, if I get up here closer between your elbow and your shoulder, that may be a little bit too intimate. So read the cues.
Yes.
Some people are very touchy-feely, as I
Right.
am, and as my husband is.
Mhm.
But we have to be appropriate. And so
Yeah.
when we close in like this and someone backs up, we know that
Mhm.
we've just invaded their space.
Mhm.
So
you've studied a lot of body language as well.
I have. I actually do a talk called "Are You Sending Mixed Messages?" Because the research of Albert Moravian, most recently from UCLA,
Mhm.
says that the effective communication is broken down into 3 component parts: words, tone of voice, and body language.
Mhm.
The words and the words alone are 7%. So stop and think next time, Miss Social Media Queen, you really want to get the total communications picture apart.
Right.
It's not in a text. It's not in an email. Add video to it. Add audio to it. If we're out there in listener land, if you are needing to convey some information beyond where you're going to meet and when, that might have some possibility of misinterpretation, it's better to at least pick up the phone so that when you say, we need to talk, they're not going, what did I do wrong? They're going, oh, she must be in trouble. I can hear that in her voice.
Sure.
So
So you're actually appealing to the senses at that point.
You really are. So the words and words alone are a mere 7%. 38% is the tone of voice. So for instance, if you said to me, Shelley, is everything okay? And in a text I said, sure, everything's fine. But if you're talking to me on the phone and I'm a little miffed and say, sure, everything's fine, you go, that's not what I'm hearing. What's happening?
That's right.
Well, you're not going to believe this jerk just tried it, and then I go off down the rabbit hole.
Right.
Well, you know, that's very important because I'm not telling the truth when I say nothing or everybody's fine. In fact, I'm pretty upset.
And I've heard people talk about with husbands and wives, and it's a standing joke that women, if the husband says, is something wrong, Shelley? No, nothing. Like that, you know there's something wrong.
Right, but clueless husbands will go, oh, okay. Or you're driving down the expressway and you say, honey, are you thirsty? Nope, and he keeps on driving. But if you say, I am thirsty, could we stop at the next pit stop? But if he's thirsty, there's not even going to be a conversation about it. He's just going to pull over.
That's right.
So our southernness may get in our way because we go along to get along. So let me move to the third part of effective communication. So even people who are not math geniuses have figured that if I've given you 7% for the words and words alone and 38% for the tone of voice, then we're clearly 55% is the body language. So whether I'm crossing my arms or I'm looking away or I'm turning my back or I'm fidgeting, and you can tell that there's something wrong. It may not be that I'm lying. It may be that I'm being evasive because I just don't want to deal with whatever the issue is.
Right. You may have anxiety. There could be stress factors.
Right. Or I may need to go to the bathroom and I just can't get up. But to be aware that something has changed.
Yes.
So in a business meeting, if you're going along and you're making a presentation and you're hoping for the sale at the end of the meeting, and somewhere along the way, 3 people just kind of sit back and cross their arms, if you don't stop and say something like, it's often during this time in the presentation that people have questions, and I get so excited I just keep on going. Let me just stop for a minute and see if there are any questions. Well, it gives them an opportunity to say blah, 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 and you get them back on board. They relax. They uncross their arms. They may not uncross their legs because it's a pretty comfortable habit.
A lot of our culture does that.
Right. But what I like to teach, or at least open people's minds to, is
Mhm.
that the habits that we have
Mhm.
may be sending a message that we're not wanting to send.
Right.
So we may have to break some habits and replace
Mhm.
them with new habits. So
How long
anyway,
does it take
Maria,
to form a habit?
they used to say 21 days, but I'm
Right.
telling you, with all this high-tech clutter, it may
Right.
be closer to 28 days. You have
Right.
to check for
Right.
yourself.
Sure.
We can certainly get out of a habit, even a newly formed habit,
Mhm.
faster than 21 days not doing it.
Right.
I will tell you, my intent is to blog 3 times a week.
Right.
But when I get out of that habit, it's like,
Sure.
back on track.
It's like when you're working out and you
Right.
work out 3 times a week and then you go on vacation and you miss a couple days. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, it's been 2 weeks and you haven't worked out at all. I'm speaking from experience. Now, you mentioned blogging. Will you tell us about your website, how people can follow you online, read what you have to say, invite you to speak? You, as I said earlier, you have a wealth of information. I love rubbing shoulders with you.
Thank you.
Because, and I mean that from the heart, because you have a lot of experience and you are willing to share it with others. Now, how can we learn from you?
Well, my blog site is www.integritybasedcommunications with a plural
Okay.
.com. www.integritybasedcommunications.com.
Okay.
And that is where I blog, and that's where you'll find an opportunity to download the first 2 chapters for free. It's also
I need to get that.
thanks. It's also where you'll have an opportunity to see some little video snippets of what people have said about the seminar and what integrity-based communications has done to positively impact their life.
Right.
Sometimes it's couples sitting side by side. Sometimes it's a business executive who says, I did this in a business context, and here's how I've been able to apply it.
So you target not only businesses but also couples.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that? What is your market?
Well, it's spun just a little bit differently. If I'm speaking to a business group, for instance, I spoke to Sales and Marketing Society last week, and so my examples were focused on the sales process, the overall marketing. Those were the examples that I gave about setting up meetings or giving and receiving feedback, etc. A month ago, I spoke to the Public Society of America. So what I was talking about was working with the media and integrity in, if you know something's coming down the pike and someone asks a question, don't lie about it. Say, no comment, or I can't comment on that, but I will have information for you as it develops. And so depending on who the market is, I'm going to
So it's custom.
It is customized.
Okay.
It's always customized. So for one client, they did mandatory training for all 300 of their employees. And even though there were 4 different segments, the management, split out from the rank and file employees, they went ahead and videotaped it so that if for some reason all of them couldn't make it, the information was still going to be available. And I walked away with a video that I could use and repurpose as long as I didn't identify the client. So, how do you build a strong team, one person at a time?
Absolutely.
And how do you build a relationship, one conversation at a time?
Right.
And
I like that. You've got to say that again. A strong team is one person at a time. A relationship is one conversation at a time.
I just made that up.
You need to write that down.
So, and how do you build a leader? You build a leader by building personal self-discipline. And so what I said for years was I build people for life and leadership. If you are not authentic and modeling the way, walking the talk, who's going to follow you? They're going to say, there's a disconnect here. She's telling me to work out, 5 days a week, and yet she's a slug.
Exactly.
So we've got to walk the talk, or be willing to say, I'm not perfect. I slip up. If I've had a little injury, I'm not going to be able to walk because I'm not willing to permanently damage myself. But to really be honest,
I would like for you, Shelley, to take just 60 seconds and look into the camera and talk to the viewers about if you had 1 minute to share with people about, I would say wisdom that you have. Share 60 seconds of wisdom.
60 seconds of wisdom. If I had to go back and do my life over again based on what I know now, and I would only go back and live it over again based if I knew then what I know now, it would be to be very focused on life purpose. It would to be very clear about what it is I wanted and what kind of contribution I wanted to make. I've come to believe that you can't possibly outgive the universe or whatever you claim as your creator, and that the more we're willing to give, the more we're going to receive. And to be detached on whether I give to you and you give back, or I give to you and Dapo gives back, to understand that it's all in flow. So to be a collaborator more than a competitor, because I was quite a competitor when I was younger. And as I said earlier in the interview, to be on purpose and to focus on what I want, so I'm moving towards what I want as opposed to moving away from what I don't want.
Very goal-oriented.
Very goal-oriented, but with heart.
Yes.
Not, I want this and to heck with everybody else. Is I want this. Tell me what you want. And honestly now, in my, of course I like to say that everything I say is honest, but when I meet someone now and they ask me what I do, I'm going to say something simple like, you know, I work with people who want to communicate more confidently. And we
all want to do that.
Yeah.
And we want to work together. Even people that have, you may be having difficulties with your communication. I've had difficulties with communication. I believe everybody does at some point in time. And so we all want to learn how to work together. You may look at someone and they may seem like they don't want to work with you, but there's a reason. There's something deep on the inside that's causing that. And I believe in the goodness of people, and I believe that everybody has an element of goodness to where they would want to work together if they knew how.
Well, the first two behaviors of integrity-based communications, to tell your truth quicker, faster, and ask for what you want, allows people to go deeper to relate better. And one of my classic stories that taught me that is I met a woman in Leadership Memphis, and we ended up being paired together in a diversity exercise. And the facilitator asked us to share answers to questions that were very deep. And I went first, and she tells the story later, well, Shelley really got deep, and I went, whoa, what am I going to say? Because she didn't want to reveal that much.
Right.
And so
difficult for her.
Well, years later, when we were teaching diversity training for FedEx all over the country, someone asked her, it's obvious that you are wild, crazy mad about each other. How did you become business partners? And when she told the story, she said, you know how some people, you meet them and they know that they just think that they're cute and they're so on top of it. And she said she was the first person I ever knew who had a cell phone. And every time there was a break, she's telling all this stuff, and I'm going, is that really what she thought of me?
Wow.
Now, here's the blessing.
That's an eye-opener.
It is. The blessing is I was so committed to building a relationship, I wasn't reading the signal. And so for this person who appears to be difficult, if you just blast through and you're willing to put yourself out there, that's what endeared me to Betty Alston. Because, you know, I'd be the one calling and remembering she was a vegetarian and saying, here we can go and get our hearts and minds and souls fed all at the same time, and you can still be vegetarian. Well, when I said that, it was like, how could she miss the fact that we had the same faith base? But she did. It wasn't until I said, feed our bodies and our souls, that she went, oh,
she grasped it.
Yeah. So to go deeper, to relate better is what the first two behaviors are.
I can't wait. I wish I could fast forward to December 1st. We have Dapo Odesanya here with us today. One of our founding members. New member orientation is what he specializes in, but he also has a business that's wonderful, Bioactive. And Dapo is chatting on the chat line. So, Dapo, will you come over here and tell us what's going on? Dapo joins us every Monday, so we can't go through a Monday morning without Dapo saying hello.
Why don't you come sit over here? I'm going to get up and let you sit.
Hello, everybody. How you guys doing out there? Guys, Shelley Baur has been giving us a lot of information, and on the chat line, people actually cannot wait to see what's going to happen on December the 1st. So many comments, so many I mean, I'm just blown away. So you guys come to December 1st. And for the people who are chatting, stay tuned for December 1st. It's going to change your life. As you can tell from what I'm saying so far,
Yes.
a lot of information. Body language, communication. Hey, I'm too quiet. I'm just having so much fun. December 1st, don't miss it. Take care.
Okay, the first thing I want you to do when you get back on the chat line is I want you to shoot out your website so people can go on your website and see what you have, because you have great health benefits in what you do.
Very correct. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Dapo.
That's right. And I'm going to do a shout out to Dapo too, because I bought Noni from him to help him win a trip. And oh my goodness, what I started doing was pouring it in the ice tray. Who has an ice tray anymore? But I did pour it in an ice tray and made ice cubes out of Noni juice that you could then put in a non-alcoholic beverage.
That is interesting.
I know, it was really fun.
I like really that.
Fun. But I did it to help
share
him.
That. That's a great idea.
Well, I did it to help him, but of course it ended up helping me and helping other people too.
Sure.
And if I may, let me just blast through integrity-based communications real quickly so that I can give them some food for thought. If they're buzzing about just the first two behaviors,
that's right.
Behaviors number 3 and 4 are what allow people to get to know us. I mean, not know us better, but like us better. We've already done a better job.
We want to be liked.
Yeah, we do. And how can we do that, Sherri? What's the best way to become liked?
Well, I think first of all would be to walk in integrity. Now, that's a loaded conversation piece, but I think being honest is one thing. Being open is another. And also smiling a lot. I think that's very important.
Yeah. Well, here's what I do, and I just gave an example of it with Dapo, because Dapo had a goal, and Dapo was willing to tell his truth quicker, faster, and ask for what he wanted. And I said, I'm in, I'll help. So usually when I meet someone, I may say something as simple as, I work with people who want to communicate more clearly or confidently, and work together more profitably, face-to-face and online. And I leave it at that. I may add based on the principles of integrity-based communication.
Sure.
That's my defining statement. Right. So I'm not going, blah, 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 I do seminars, I do keynotes, I got a book, look at me, I'm great.
Right.
I'd rather someone else like you or Dapo saying nice things about me. But what I do is I immediately start focusing the conversation on them. Behavior number 3 is ask questions.
How, when, what, where, why?
Why? But it's, let me say that we ask questions for a number of reasons. One is just to get information.
Right.
Can you spell your name for me, Dapo? D-A-P-O. We're not even going to try the last one, right?
I've got it. It's O-D-U-S-A-N-Y-A. Hey, did I get that right?
Yes,
okay, so we ask for information.
Yes.
Then we ask for clarity. So let's go back to business over coffee. We're going to meet at Starbucks, and you say you want to meet at the one on Poplar, and I go, well, there are a lot of them on Poplar. Were you thinking like Poplar Ridgeway, or were you thinking Poplar White Station? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. I'm thinking about Germantown, Poplar.
I have a story about that.
I bet you do.
In fact, today I'm meeting with Tracy Pruitt, who is our accountant. She and I decided to go to lunch together, and this was about a week ago. And so I'm all set up. I've got my laptop at Panera Bread, right across the street. She has an office right down the way from here as well. So I said, let's meet at Panera Bread right next to our offices. And she said, sure, that'd be great. That's perfect. She calls me, Sherri, I'm here. I don't see you. Oh, I'm here. I'm over in the corner. I'm looking in the corner. I don't see you. Come to find out, she's next to Perkins. We're in Memphis, Tennessee. It's one of the main drags around here. And so I was over here by Ridgeway and Poplar, and she was on Poplar and Perkins. And so perfect scenario of what you're talking about. It happened to me because I was not communicating as effectively as I could have.
So what I do is a classic example. That's why everybody can go, oh boy, I've done that before.
That's right.
I'm going to clarify it, and I'm going to, and let me just stay on questions for just a minute, because the real reason, the real questions that I want to ask beyond information clarity is, what drives you? What's important to you? What makes your heart sing? What are you passionate about? What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? I mean, big picture stuff. Now, you can't get there right away. I mean, I can with you now, but if I walked up to you at a reception and said, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? You might go, ooh.
Right.
But that's what allows me to know. I mean, I do an exercise called 21 Reasons to Succeed. And the top thing that I use as an example is that I'm a recovering chocoholic. Don't give me chocolate. But you know what I really love is fresh flowers in the home at all times. I use that as an example with my husband when we were dating. When we built our home, he added a patio to the home. Do you know what he did around the patio? Roses all the way around.
How beautiful.
You know,
he heard you.
He
so
did.
It's not just your communication. It's also the communication on the other end, which is the listening.
And that's behavior number 4. Pay attention. And listening is a huge component. Because if I don't understand how to pronounce Doppo, if I don't know how to spell Doppo, if I don't know how to reach out to him, if I don't know, you know, that family is important to him, that travel is important to him, that helping other people be healthy is important to him, you know, that's where my conversation can go with him. So I'm asking questions. I'm gaining information, not to manipulate ever, any more than using truth to chop someone off at the knees and say, well, I'm sorry if it hurts. It's the truth. Integrity-based communications is never meant to tear down. It's to edify. It's to lift up. It's to improve relationships.
And being a Christian, I go, because of my value system, I go to speaking the truth in love. Because we can speak the truth, and it can be very painful. But if we speak it in love, it may be painful. But at least that person knows that we love them regardless.
This is where question asking can also help. To say, may I hold up a mirror for you and let you hear what I just heard? And they go, ooh, and they know they're about to get busted, but you're asking for permission. So that's a 4th reason to ask questions. Ask for permission. And they go, I don't think I want to hear this. Well, okay. But, you know, so you're not, once someone, it's just like the defining statement. Once someone says, ooh, tell me more, then you have permission and you can walk through that door. But if you go blah, 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 you know, well, then people are going to go, whoa, you know, don't get in a conversation with her. Exactly. Right. So asking questions and paying attention is what allows people to get to like us better. Because if you do it right, they will come to like you because first you demonstrated that you like them. You're curious. You're intellectually engaged. You really want to support them. And that you're using information not to hurt them or manipulate, but you're using information to create win-win solutions or just win-win relationships. You know, do you want? If I find out that you don't like to go to a particular restaurant, or that you're a vegetarian, or that you love chocolate, all of those things I can use to remember and to show you that I was paying attention and to surprise you. To surprise you if I want to say congratulations.
She was listening.
Right?
And power talking is one of the things that I have lived by. In fact, we're doing a session on that this coming Friday.
Oh, good.
It's Friday morning. I'm not sure the exact time. But if you're interested in attending online or here at our office in Memphis, you can come to our office at 5865 Ridgeway Center Parkway. That's also where we're having our event Share on December 1st. Again, it will be virtual, both of these. So you can watch them online and participate as well if you are a member. Now, this coming Friday, I want you to attend our Power Talking and Blogging session. Now, you talked about blogging, and I want you to talk about the effectiveness of that. And when we talk about power talking, I'll be teaching a little on this. And I heard you say something a moment ago that
because you were paying attention.
You're very, very trained in this. But instead of saying, I can't do social media, I don't know how to do that, you say, I don't know how to do social media, but I will learn. So, and
up until now, I haven't known how to do social.
There you go.
And now I've met Sherri, and I am getting on a jet plane.
And another thing is, you know what? I like that color, but I think I like blue on you better. A better way to say it is take the bud out and use and. Shelley, I love that color you have on. That rust is really nice. And I really loved the blue you wore the other day. That looked excellent on you. So all I did was switch one word. And or but.
But is the great eraser. In fact, sometimes when I'm doing a seminar and teaching this, I'll say, just get your butt out of it and use an and.
There you
go.
Or
just have a period and start a new sentence.
I love it. I wish you could collaborate with me on this Friday.
We should.
Okay.
Another time. I'll listen and learn. I know that I'm going to learn from you.
I'll be saying, Shelley, can you elaborate on that? Let's collaborate.
Okay.
So for the viewers, we're getting ready to go off the air. I would like for you, in a nutshell, for those who have just tuned in, you are watching BOC TV with Sherri and Shelley Baur with Integrity-Based Communications. Shelley is going to tell us where to find her online, and also I would like for you to tell the viewers, in a nutshell, what they can expect on December 1st.
On December 1st, we're going to do a sample of Living on Purpose. Integrity-based communications is the foundation of everything I do. So we only got through 4 of the 6 behaviors today in this show because we had so much to cover.
That's right.
But we will be going through all 6 behaviors that build relationships so that people can get to know you, like you, and trust you, and build long-term high-trust relationships. And what we're going to be covering on the 1st is integrity-based communications, values clarification, living a balanced life, and it will slide right into goal setting. And we're going to be fasten your seatbelt.
Oh yes, we're going to be 9 to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Correct.
And it will be both virtual and here at the home office in Memphis, Tennessee.
But you got to be a member.
That's right. And how much does that cost?
It costs $10
a month.
A month. That's right.
All. And if you join for a complete year, then what?
It's $100.
That's right.
So you're going to save money. And believe me, it's going to be worth more than $100. Well, I shouldn't say that. It sounds like I'm bragging. But at any rate, it's going to be worth more than $100 just to come to that sampler. But I can tell you, since Sherri has already said that I won my membership in a random drawing, believe me, it's worth more than $100 to come to one meeting and make one very important connection as I have.
We are so proud to have you, and proud is the proper word, to have you on our founding members team. We have a lot of incredible people. You're adding to the mix. We've got Coach Robert Staub, we've got Dapo Odusanya, and many other people that are a part of what we do that make it outstanding. But I'm very excited. And I'm very excited about you being on board as well. One thing I had, it was really important, and I'm trying to remember what it was, that I wanted to mention. Well, I definitely want you to share your web information with everyone where they can find you.
Sure.
And then I know what the question was. So go ahead and share that information.
www.shelleybaur.com is my corporate site where you can find testimonials and various things that I do. And then www.integritybasedcommunications.com is the blog site. Let you download the first 2 chapters of the book for free and just tool around, look at previous blog posts, and it's all about using truth to get whatever you want, whether it's a business, personal, or as I like to say sometimes, from the bedroom to the boardroom. Integrity-based communications can help you get what you really want.
Now that caught a lot of people's attention right there. 2 questions. One is about blogging. Tell us in just a nutshell why people should come on Friday to learn more about blogging.
Because more and more people are doing business with people by researching what they do online. In fact, the latest statistics I heard is that 64% of the buying decisions are made based on information gleaned online. So if
that's an outstanding statistic.
It is. If you are not blogging and pushing content out that will draw people to you, giving up the old push marketing where you're just pushing yourself on people, and instead sharing information that makes people want to do business with you.
That's right.
Some people use the blog just as a personal diary, but it's a combination for me. I'm talking about what I'm passionate about, what's going on in my life, but also connecting the dots connecting the head and the heart, connecting business, personal,
Yeah.
having a broader application.
Definitely.
So everybody out there listening to us, watching us today, is an expert in something.
Oh,
Focus in on your expertise. Be willing to be generous with sharing that information, and people will want to do business with you. You just got to remember to tell them what it is you do and give them a call to action so they know how to get in touch. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to leave my website so people can check them out. And thank you so much for inviting me today. This has just been a joy.
You're welcome. It has. And one point I would like to make, and invite you as well, I'm sorry, to share your blog information with BOC. We have a blog, and what we do is we help our members cross-reference their information. So your blogging information, your article, if you change a few things in your article, so Google will pick it up, and you send it to us, then we will post it on the BOC blog site as well. Now people that are going to the BOC blog site that haven't been to your site are led to your site because all your links are there. So that is a member benefit that you have. And the last question I'm going to leave our viewers with, and I'm sure that there's people that are wondering this because we have BOC New Jersey, we have people in California that are members that may be watching right now. If they're interested in your services, are you able to teach this virtually to a group of people or one-on-one?
I can do both. I do live, I do online. And I repurpose so that if I were doing something live and we were taping it, then it could turn around and be used as a pay-per-view, or sometimes like with you and members. The members can come see it. If they weren't able to watch today, they can access it 24/7.
Okay. And they would reach you. What's the best way to reach you? Is it via email or going on your website? Tell us.
Email, going on website is probably the best way.
What is your email address?
My email address is Shelley, Shelley, at Shelley Baur, BAUR.com. So most people take that second E in Shelley and put it in Baur. You won't find it there. Shelley at ShelleyBaur.com. ShelleyBaur.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much for coming on with us today. BOC TV with Sherri, this is our first month.
Yay!
And you are the second guest that we've had.
Wow.
So we'll look back on this at the end of the year when we're doing some of our replays of what's going on with BOC. You do not want to miss it. Part of the membership benefit of being a part of Business Over Coffee is that, especially if you're local, you are invited as a member to come in here just like Shelley Baur has. Sit down with me and have a live interview that's aired on social media. It's an opportunity to get yourself exposed out there and tell people about your business. Now, let's say you're in a different state and you think, well, I'd like to do that, but I'm not in Memphis, Tennessee. Then go to our site, businessovercoffee.net. See if there's a chapter in your area. If not, you may consider opening a chapter there. You can contact us at connect@businessovercoffee.net. We would love to, I'm sorry, that is incorrect. It's connect@businessovercoffee.info, and we would love to hear from you. So until next Monday, we will be with Sridhar Sankara with Launch Memphis and eBiz Solutions next Monday. Same time, same station, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Join us right here. Also, this coming Thursday, we're doing Weave Your Own Web from 9 to 11. And on Friday from 9 to 11, we are having Share, which is blogging and power talk this week. So we have a lot coming up. Go